Ladies and gentlemen, it is our Kobo Podcast, and we have gathered here today to cook. And I've got my fellow cook with me in the studio. First, to my left. Yes, Nana, my left now. Okay. I've got Idris Shehu. I would like you to introduce yourself.
I am simply known as Agba Kuka, the unchoppable ever.
Damn.
Yes.
You want to chop the mic? And my fellow Sisi in the building.
Hi guys, my name is Abdusemi Monsuro. I
Okay.
have to do like a chicken every single time.
Please don't chicken out on us. Yes, and the fine boy in the building. No, they're both fine boys though, but
I will
you
Rock,
give
paper.
it to him.
Rock, papers.
Give it to me.
How do you do rock, paper, scissors?
I don't know. I haven't done one before.
We'll
You
move
do after round one.
Later.
after round one, original. I think Kule is final.
Mm.
100.
You will hear from Idris after this
100.
show. Behind the scene.
Ring.
Let's hear it from you.
Yes, so my name is Kule Daramola. You can call me Dax Babala. You can call me Lyrical. Yeah, so let's continue from there.
Okay, so today I said we are going to be cooking. And this food, we are going to be cooking the naira. I hope it is not among part of the policy that you are not allowed to cook.
I plead in
Naira.
advance.
You plead the fifth. All
In
right,
advance.
so recently the EFCC went after the popular crossdresser, mommy of Lagos, Bobrisky, over what is called naira abuse. So apparently she was caught red-handed in video evidence boku that she was spraying naira at a party, and she was arrested, charged to court, and right now she's in prison. So today we want to look at it. What constitutes naira abuse? And this thing is something that has been going on for generations, like
Forever.
it's been there. Part of what we are looking at is why is that the EFCC, as they taught us in debate school, is just coming out now to charge people and criminalize them. So what do you think generally about the arrest of mommy of Lagos for this crime? It's a crime already now.
Yes.
So when she comes out, she's going to be an ex-convict.
It's a lot. A lot
So
to
hard. So what do you think about the EFCC coming out now to criminalize Nigerians for it? And it's been there, they've been seeing it, and now they really want to take action. Do you think something must have propelled them to say, okay, at this point,
The naira is going through a lot.
this is just an addition?
The naira is going
So-
through a lot. So it could be one of those things that they're trying to do, to get the citizens to respect the currency. But I think we cannot argue that because they have not been doing anything about it for a long time, they shouldn't be doing something about it now. There is a rot in the society that has continued for generations, and now they are doing something about it. They have started. That is the most important thing. So yeah, I think we should neglect the fact that they are just starting. We should focus more on the fact that.
But the
now
thing
that
is,
they've
defacing the
started.
naira, according to the CBN, is more than just spraying.
Yes.
If you tear, you have mutilated. If you have abused. If you squeeze, if you perforate,
Which you
if
all
you
do.
stain. Last, Olopama ko everybody. If you actually want to look-
everybody will go and collect 2 plates of rice.
if you actually want to look at it, but they started with spraying at parties, and spraying at parties is a Nigerian thing, as people would say, is a norm, is a culture. How do you view the concept of spraying naira at parties? Like, what would a party be without spraying money? When people enter the dance floor, that is the ginger.
We need to be honest with ourselves. A party will still be a party.
How?
without
In the
spraying.
Nigerian
Of
context.
course, yeah.
I'm going somewhere.
Mm.
A party is all about dancing, having fun, not doing criminal things. Okay, let's say do you mean that a party will not necessarily be a party if we don't drink?
It depends on the party.
Maybe to some people.
To
To
some
some
people.
To some people, to some people, a party is not a party unless you are
If there is no alcohol there.
there's no alcohol. But then there are some people that can do that actually party. without taking all these things, and they're having their
This
fun.
wait, let me catch you. Have you sprayed naira before at a party?
No, I have not. That my wealth has not gotten to that stage.
Even if it's 50 naira.
But I think
Even
it's a
have you picked?
Not be me, you go put for you.
Have you picked? If you've not sprayed, have you picked?
Picking is just like, okay, I'm saving.
Yeah, saving.
Guilty as charged.
You try.
I'm saving the custodian of the naira. Now maybe that.
See, the last time I sprayed, maybe I was 9 or 10. That was during my grandpa's burial, and Ayefele came to perform. I was at the forefront.
You're from a rich home.
As in, he's a big boy.
My father and my mother gave me some
Generational wealth.
and I was at the front. I was,
Do you know
Wait,
you are
you spray
confessing
the
to felony here?
this is it. So
No
The
evidence.
statute of limitation.
see,
No evidence.
There's no video. There's nothing to charge me with. But the point is,
Your word.
it's a cultural thing. I think it's a cultural thing, right? So many people want to go there. They call it that. At the party, some people sprayed money because they saw another person spraying money, right? And I think the issue started even like it's now deep in us.
Yeah.
We call it Nigerian thing, but who started this thing? It's not like it is written in the constitution or something, but it's just like the cultural misdemeanor.
Over time, we've seen cultures evolve. Of course, the earliest Yoruba people, the earliest Igbo people, the earliest Hausa people were not spraying money. There was no naira notes there.
Do you have
People were not. People obviously.
They were coin.
Not coin, actually, they were carried.
Carries.
People were not. How will I say it?
Maybe because they were not sprayable.
And
Of course, imagine carrying.
Is there any evidence
I'm
that
getting
our
to a point.
ancestors did
Yeah.
not spray
I'm
carries?
getting somewhere.
Abi.
Let me finish my point. I'm getting somewhere. All I'm saying is that okay, there was no naira note then, but there was
Something they call money.
They were carried, of course. Maybe it's even trade by barter. Maybe, of course, they were doing trade by barter then. Were they throwing national fee at each other? Were they throwing? Of course, they will present it in a very, how will I say it? Gentlemanly way and present it to you in a basket or something, which doesn't in any way abuse any sort of maybe exchange forum or anything. So, and over time, maybe like you said, there are some people that want to kuga, there are some people that want to show like, okay, I have this naira note and I want to spray it. And of course, we are Africans. We like to show off money. We like to let the other person know that it is there. Like, I'm ready to be there. So over time we've learnt it, and this whole concept of spraying money, of share of this, how will I say it? Display of wealth started when high life music
came in.
That's interesting.
So according to what I believe,
Don't quote him.
don't quote me, but according to what I believe, like this whole culture of spraying naira notes, because of course we never really had naira note until 1970 something.
Yeah.
We were spending pound or so.
Yeah.
So it all started with high life music and basically people getting the opportunity to be at clubs, be at bar, get the opportunity to how will I say it, pay for live band to come and perform. And of course, when you have a live band and you need to show what comes with it is also the opportunity. I'm not the only one. I have the money to bring in the best musician, but I also have the money to show
the
off.
music takes you, the money takes you.
Exactly.
Right? So you are in front, the guy is hailing everyone, he's hailing you, calling out your name, right? Omokunle Daramola. The money is there, spray this thing. So I feel many people are just addicted to that. I don't know what to call it, maybe praises now.
Yeah.
But then
It gets in your
at the
head.
same time, I'm still going to hammer on that cultural thing, because if you do not see someone you respect, or if you see someone you respect not doing it, right, I believe you're not going to do it in maybe at your next party. Now that Bobrisky has been prosecuted, you see that it will continue to die down until it picks up again. So I'm considering maybe NOA can.
You said until it picks up again, so you are sure that
We're
even with all
Nigerians.
the prosecution,
We're
people,
Nigerians.
even after he's been arrested, there have been parties after that people still sprayed the naira. But even then, the EFCC is starting with those that spray naira at parties. But defacing the naira or abusing the naira doesn't just end there. There are other perpetrators. And if you think of it, there are people that argue that the least level where naira is abused is at parties, because typically what we spray at parties is mint.
Mhm.
Now, then the naira is crisp, new, sweet, scented, and then they spray it. It's still very fresh and it's quickly picked up.
Do you see the damage it causes? Right, so now you buy a bundle of money at party. So you buy 6,000 for 8,000 naira because you want to spray. So say
it's even almost addictive.
So let's assume that line is broken and EFCC continues, partners with maybe the National Retention Agency and state government, and they continue that line, prosecuting role models. I feel that
people look up to.
Yeah, I feel that's going to solve a lot of problems. But then if you look back, you see people who have done this before. The son to former DSS chair,
Even
musicians,
the previous president's children.
So
These are supposed to be custodians of the law, or families of the custodians of the law.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to stay on it. It's a cultural problem,
and that we may not be able to solve.
We are trying.
So what I'm my own counter argument is that culture changes.
Yes,
Okay,
it
so
evolved.
at
Then
the
we
point
start
we would
spraying. We start using spraying gun. You get? So
So moving away from people that spray naira, there are other perpetrators. I don't know if this is actually like you said, they are looking after the bigger guys that people look up to. Because the woman that sells akara, people that not even carpenters now, people that deal with oily stuff, they also, if you pick up a naira note that has spent like maybe 3 years in circulation, okay, and you look at it, the kind of dirt, the stain, the tear that you would see, not before party happen, not before party.
Exactly, and how can you trace that?
So I feel like this is some sort of indictment on the orientation agency. Do you think Nigerians don't know that it is a crime from the onset?
just as they know.
Is it an issue of is it an ignorance thing? Or
I feel like there are many things that Nigerians know that it's not right, it is not permissible, it is not the law.
But because the authorities look away.
Enforcing a lot of things in Nigeria is a joke to some extent. Until we begin to see serious consequences for our actions. We are social beings. We want to violate the law. I don't know if it's innate, unless we have something enforcing that law. So we saw our fathers spraying money. In fact, it even got to a point where if someone comes to your party and they do not spray money, you would say so do not spray me money. Do you get? So, and then we saw them do that. We grew up into that. It just become a thing that we all accept and we all do. Now that we see that they are persecuting people will have to. And I even feel like a lot of us are on social media, are aware of the public. How about the market women? What about people, that do not have access to the internet?
Yes.
Do you understand me? And it all comes down to the fact that Nigeria is still that country that has too much cash in circulation, in my opinion. We have not gotten to a point where we can go, aside from BRTs in Lagos, I can, want to get a ride and just want to pay with. Do you get? We are either always
money
changes and so frequently.
I think we were at that stage during the naira scarcity where people were transferring.
And see how difficult it was for people.
Yeah.
Because it is not like we have, informalized a channel aside from cash. We can't just retract, we can't just get people to stop doing that. If money keeps changing hands, it will keep getting defaced.
What we are saying is take care of the naira the same way you take care of the dollar. So even if you change your naira to dollar,
do people spray dollar?
If someone sends money to you,
I've seen people spray.
See, you are spraying the naira this way, you are spraying the dollar.
That comes with the mentality.
See, the same way you see,
and the dollar is more valuable than the naira.
Go to Kenya or go to any nearby country, they won't throw their sachet of biscuits or plastic of water. But when immediately they get back to Lagos or get back to Abuja, they spit and do everything.
Why don't they do that in those countries? There is enforcement.
It's not only enforcement. It's not just enforcement alone, right? I feel like there are things you can, as a human being.
Orientation.
as human being, right? Your dad did this, but you knew this thing is wrong. I don't want to continue in this step. I correct myself, right? But there are some things that we just feel like, okay, we can't correct it because someone did it. We have to continue doing it, right? When I say culture, it's a cultural thing. I feel it's a cultural thing, but at the same time, you can correct it personally, right? So I told you that I sprayed money when I was maybe 10. The music got in, I felt it got in, I sprayed money. But a few years ago, at another burial ceremony,
Why are you attending so
this
much
man-
prayer?
It's so bad
this-
that even at burial ceremonies, people spray
Spray
naira. It's
money.
like almost
My
a
own question
for
is
a
why?
funeral- for a funeral.
How many burial ceremonies have you attended?
Okay, so it's my grandpa first, then my grandmother. Now, so
Undertaker.
so the point
Full
is,
lady undertaker.
no, please don't call me that.
That's your next intro.
So the point now is, are we going to change, right? Before we even look to enforcement, right? Are we going to change? Even if the enforcement is going on, are we going to change? We've heard of Kai, right?
Yeah.
Before. Did it change
By the way, I
anything?
saw them on that beggar bridge
Yeah,
2
yeah,
days ago.
It changed when it was maybe
Didn't fashion last time.
maybe when it started. I mean, all across Nigeria. Right?
Oh, okay. Why? That's why.
Why? Right. But now, what's the difference?
I don't think they are in existence anymore.
This thing that EFCC is doing now, I think that this brokenness, this money scarcity that is affecting all of us in Nigeria is getting even to government. And it is also a crime to print money or something, to print the naira or something in semblance to it. What people do in parties nowadays, say naming ceremony, no, weddings, they would put the picture of the bride and the groom and then just design it to look like the naira. It is also illegal for you to do that. So if
Seriously?
yes, it is.
I had no idea.
You're not supposed to. So if it is something you're thinking as a replacement for spraying the naira, you shouldn't think it. But what are those
What
other
about
options?
birthday bouquet?
That one too. The FCC have said
Birthday
it now.
cakes.
Yes.
Making
You
cake,
know,
money
making cake into
cakes.
bouquet and stuff like that is also part of abuse.
If we all
of the
transfer
naira.
the money,
You're asking what should we do
Yes.
about what should we do instead of spraying. Why are we spraying in the first place?
Because this is something that gives life to the party.
There are several things.
everybody should be hailing each other.
Yes.
We should
So
be hailing ourselves.
taking out spraying the naira, there is something that it does to a party, especially for people that is what makes the party
The
the
same
party
way you
for
can
them.
keep your plastic to yourself.
Exactly.
You're right.
How about
And
how
then
about
try-
we hire people that can praise people and get their head to get go damn go damn.
And then what?
Instead to replace the hype they would get from spraying money. If we hire people that do that and someone comes on stage and is done, you probably be doing transfer in the process. Go damn
And you
go
said,
damn
imagine it now. That
I've seen cases where people start dancing, because people were hailing them. So it does to you what if someone is spraying you, you're getting the hype. But if someone is also praising you, you're also getting the hype. We can put that to a test and see how it goes.
and I'm just dancing and then there is.
Yeah.
I'm saying go jam. You see the way you're moving.
When Monsuro was speaking, she said something about how about the people in the market?
Yeah, that I may not
do
even be aware.
they do they know who Bobrisky? Do they know who Chief
Chief
Priest is?
Kubana
money in their
And of course,
wrapper.
all of us here, our mothers,
Yes.
they still do it, and they don't know. Some of them,
They
some of
don't
them
know.
don't even know it is right because that's the only way they can keep their money in the market. You don't want to be seen fiddling with naira when in the midst of multiple people. Just want to clock somewhere, and just get it done. So what they need to do, even all this arrest of Chief Priest of
Kubana.
Bobrisky, they are not even. They can't even. They don't even know who these people are. They don't even know. Of course, you can. They can have one other radio station concocting another narrative.
Yeah.
Concocting another narrative. Because I was listening to radio which and the news of Bobrisky arrest. I will not mention the radio
Yeah,
station
of
now.
course.
Guess what they said Bobrisky did that
What
caused the
did they
arrest?
say?
Because of the cross-dressing.
So there is now
These are the
also
issue,
fake news and misinformation sprouting
They
for.
Information
and
disorder.
this and okay.
And that is
so
what
now,
most people
somebody-
would likely go with. That is what they would
Exactly.
be
Now
thinking.
that's more
You know,
believable.
some people are even asking actually that is it just because of spraying the naira that you are putting her in prison for 6 months? That it's, the offense is they feel that the offense is so inconsequential.
to that. So I think I have a sort of solution to what Idris raised. Can the government partner with skit makers? To bring it to the mainstream. See, do you know how many millions of Nigerians watch Mr. Macaroni? Millions of Nigeria watch Officer Wolf.
You know, it was part of his plea that he was going to use his.
King Solomon is there. Partner with
Oba
him.
Solomon.
Oba Solomon. Partner with him. Let him drive this message to the Idaland. People are listening. Do you get?
People that speak, native languages in their skits.
I think the most prevalent mass medium in Nigeria right now is radio.
Yes,
all this Oba Solomon and co. There are some market women that don't even have smartphone.
They don't, but their kids have. Their neighbor has. Do you get?
Information has a way of going around.
Let me ask you this question. At what age did you start speaking to your parents and they start reading your words?
If I tell my mother that they will arrest you, I don't think she wants to be arrested.
My mother doesn't care.
But things have changed.
You cannot tell my mother.
Parents listen to their kids. They watch skits, right? And see, just a skit on Twitter, just that you've watched on Twitter or on WhatsApp, it's gone far. You see people discussing it in markets. People are discussing the Branch and Don Jazzy reconciliation because they saw it on Mr. Macaroni skit. Right? But it didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen last week. But because Macaroni brought them together, they are discussing this in Fagba Market. You get? So I just feel like if the government can partner with these guys, it's not as simple. Solutions are easy to discuss, of course. But I just feel like
is tough.
Yeah, I feel like if they can take these steps, NOA is there, right? Volunteers are there. Campus students
religious organizations are there.
Another one very important.
Yes, very important.
Churches, mosques.
Because the religion.
Everybody, whether you are literate, whether you have access
they
to
listen to
smartphone
their
or
religious
not,
leaders.
Yes.
So when your imam is telling you don't spray naira, when your pastor is telling you don't spray money, the message goes far.
And then if we
pack the tights inside one brown.
Don't squeeze it and drop it. Don't squeeze it and drop it inside.
So because
every party will have
50 naira and you don't want people to see it, you will now hold it very tightly like this. And
every party should have offering boxes. Everybody just slip the envelope, they put it inside.
So part of the options that people can explore, in parties or whatever, in place of spraying money, you could do alert. You could just transfer the money to the couple. Like I said, I'm trying to imagine. Okay, when I did my wedding, I did not spray
the
money.
With the new excitement, the ding ding. When you go to
okay, yeah.
Maybe should there be a projector so as the alert is coming in, just use your account,
something like that.
Everybody will just see.
That one will even be tougher than people spraying money.
Or they will just even put the microphone there so that when the alert drops, dun dun.
Jam Tifuni 5 million.
I think this projector idea is just have project. Okay, so and so person has sent 5 million.
And the
then
MC
the next
will do.
Like, I'm going to match.
It will not even be like an option.
Then
a higher bidder.
The MC will then, praise the person and
you can start dancing.
It will still work. I've attended an
an
event that they were calling the kids one after the other, and parents started competing that once they call this kid, I want the amount that is going to, and this will send this amount, this will send this. It was so competitive and
our
awesome.
Priorities are misplaced as Nigerians, right? I just feel like that's why a couple of people who have traversed some set of knowledge understand some things. They look like superhuman or sound like superhuman when they are speaking, because majority of us are still, maybe we are still stuck in the
Stone Age.
Right? Because why do you need to spend money for validation? But we are already there. So
we are there. I personally won't. I don't look at my money, and if I'm giving it to you, I want you to know that this comes from a place of I'm giving it to you for whoever you want to use it
instead
for.
Of probably make the spray money and then end up in Kirikiri. You can put it in an envelope
and give it to the
and
person,
then give it
transfer.
You can use to buy a gift. It's also an option.
To them.
To get a gift, a fancy gift, something that
Why
is
do
useful.
I
But imagine using all your money. Imagine using the money that you want to spray.
Carry it on your head and walk to the center of the and everybody will see you.
I want to be seen.
I
want to be hailed.
You have an argument.
If everybody
Call my son name.
imagine.
Please, Idris, what's the most expensive car now that you can think of, or a car of high ranking?
Tesla.
Maybe you want to be seen, a Tesla. Or you drive a Tesla to the venue of the wedding and say people will not hail you.
The one you have to order
Before
they deliver Tesla. No, there are some
look
quick,
for something that
events now.
is easy deliverables.
Okay, imagine I want to spend like 150 million. What car can 150 million buy? That will be delivered immediately, like
Look
next
for a
week.
gift, a kind of gift
Not me,
that
I don't have 150 million.
I feel like there's something
Feel
Kule mentioned that
Yeah.
I really have an opinion about.
Okay.
There are some of us, I don't want it to sound as though, so there are people that think they do not need the validation of others to feel good. And there are those that there shouldn't be any problem about both. The fact that you do not need, people to validate the things you do for you to feel valuable doesn't mean that those that do, doesn't mean that they are living in a different age. What works for you works for you. Morally, you think it's not, okay, but it makes them feel good, even if it is just for that, what's the hormone? Endorphin or something? Dopamine. Even if it is just for that, allow people.
You want to
if
turn
that's
my
what they
studio
want to
to
feel.
a biology class.
Yes.
That's dopamine. If that is what they want to feel, let them feel good about
they can
showing
feel good,
off.
but not at the expense of the.
We already talk about making transfers now. Allow people breathe.
Put it in an envelope and present.
Let
Of course, yeah.
the poor.
It is
Let the rich breathe.
at this point, I think it is up to Nigerians to choose whether you want to fuel your ego. Okay, you want to show that you have money, or you want to spend some time behind bars.
Yeah.
Okay, you choose. If you feel like you want to show that you're a big man behind bars. Well, that's something.
Is that
Big
you
man
show-
behind bars. That's bars.
Yeah, that's the bars.
If you want to show us your bar, then you'll be behind bar.
Okay.
I'm not bar.
And generally, this issue of spraying naira, spraying money at parties is just one of those things that Nigerians have come to normalize that are actually wrong. Maybe this is actually the right. I don't think it will be a rush. I think at this point, the other law enforcement agencies should tackle things like indiscriminate disposal of waste. That is one thing. Nigerians crossing the pedestrian. I was coming to Ikeja sometimes last week, and I got to Shogunle, and a man in uniform was crossing the road, and there was a pedestrian bridge above him. The driver of the bus I alighted from, the driver of the Tesla the driver of the Tesla I alighted from said, okay, look at what you are doing. But if we are the ones now, he just acted as if he didn't even hear. Now that is supposed to be someone that is supposed to, uphold the law. So we have a fundamental people issue, morals. At this point, I feel like they should be the authorities should go all out. Issues like not using the pedestrian or littering, the throwing away your waste indiscriminately and other.
Keep Nigeria clean, for God's sake.
That pedestrian, I don't want to. Why don't we have zebra crossings? Do you know some places?
Even if there is a zebra crossing, I will not cross.
Before you walk to the pedestrian bridge,
they will hit you.
If you have zebra crossings and people actually abide by it, like motorists to wait for a while.
Who are the people? They would think
you're opening a new kind of war.
Of course, I feel like we will get there sometime, okay? But I think
We
that
keep
at
saying
this
we'll
point,
get there. I
we'll
really
get
hope
there. They
we
will
do.
think that it is Tom adverts. And so ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section what you think about a Nigerian party without spraying the naira. You think that it's going to have all the fun and excitement, that all the bedu, the vibes, no naira spraying, no money spraying at all? And what are the alternatives that you think that people can adopt, during parties to still enjoy the vibes and the feeling? So let us know in the comment section, and we'll see you next time. Bye.